A new technique surgeons are using that allows patients undergoing brain surgery to stay awake and even play an instrument.
The fear of severe flooding is reaching as far as Australia as its people prepare to go down under.
BTS joining the Korean military, Harrison Ford taking on a role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and much more for entertainment later in the show.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Thanks for joining us on ntTV News at Noon. I'm Talea Munson.
And I'm Peter Rabel. Denton County Public Health confirmed 7 cases of monkeypox as of October 16th, bringing the national total to 56 cases. No details will release about individuals who tested positive, but officials will investigate cases that may identify possible contact. Some county residents are eligible for the monkeypox vaccine. To see eligibility as well as information about the virus, visit dentoncounty.gov/monkeypox.
You have heard that some surgeons like to listen to music while performing serious operations. But what if the music that was playing wasn't coming from a radio, but rather a live performance from the patient themselves? CNN's Jeremy Roth has more.
An amazing feat that took place during a brain surgery procedure in Italy was, for lack of a better term, mind-blowing. Video shared by Paideia International Hospital shows an alert patient playing a saxophone as surgeons work to successfully remove a tumor from his brain. You might be thinking, why would they do this? Well, so-called awake surgeries like this one allow surgeons to perform complex procedures on the brain while monitoring in real time any effect on the patient's neurological functions, in this case, his ability to play the saxophone. Awake surgeries such as this one have been done before. In 2020, a patient in London played a violin during a similar brain operation, and in both cases, the patients reportedly recovered with their talents intact. That's got to be music to the surgeon's ears. A new brain study from Australia claims medical researchers were able to get microscopic brain cells in a petri dish to play the classic video game Pong. Researchers used electric probes connected to microscopic neurons, sending signals to spur the cells to adapt to a changing environment, in this case, the back-and-forth game. They even had a real-time digital mapping of the cellular activity during gameplay. And while the video may be a reminder of just how boring Pong is, the cellular science behind the brain game breakthrough is really quite amazing. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Research is still being conducted on operations like these, but I think we can all agree that this is simply amazing. The U.S. is still taking major hits due to the COVID-19 pandemic. According to new research published in the journal Nature Human Behavior, researchers have found that the 2021 life expectancy was lower than expected in 29 countries, including the U.S. But compared to other countries, researchers have also found that U.S. average number of years expected to live also declined. Life expectancy at birth has dropped every year since 2019 and 2021 from 79.8% to 77.4%. Currently, U.S. has the third largest decline in life expectancy despite the wide accessible vaccines. Researchers have also noted that countries with higher proportions of fully vaccinated population experience smaller effects in life expectancy.
Starting today, a new FDA rule is allowing hearing aids to be sold without a prescription. Millions of Americans suffering from hearing loss can purchase them online and in stores. In today's Health Minute, experts offer advice on what to keep in mind while buying hearing aids over the counter.
It's a long-awaited rule change now in effect. For the first time, people with mild to moderate hearing loss can get devices to help directly from a store or online, making them more affordable.
The average cost of a pair of hearing aids in the past was about $4,500. I mean, so put that perspective, that means for the average American, a pair of hearing aids could be your third largest material purchase in life after a house and a car.
Now you don't have to visit a hearing health professional and don't have to have a custom fitting, bringing down the cost. But health experts say there are some things to keep in mind. First, get your hearing tested before heading to a store. That will let you know your hearing levels and help determine whether your hearing loss is caused by a condition that may not require a hearing aid like wax buildup. Next, know what you're buying. Experts say a return policy is crucial. The FDA rule says the policy has to be plainly stated on the packaging, but extended return policies are up to the stores. Check the product's warranty, whether it covers maintenance and repairs, and look for the words OTC or over-the-counter hearing aid on the package. If the product doesn't say that, it's not an FDA-regulated device.
By the market opening up now, there's a lot of opportunity for companies to meet consumers where they are rather than where we want them to be, which is what the model previously dictated.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
If you have not gotten dressed for the day yet, I suggest going to the back of your closet and pulling out your best pair of boots.
I'm going to be honest, Talea, I did not get the memo about that today, but you sure did. Our weatherman, Nick Ogele, will give us a first look into the cooling conditions. Nick?
That's right, Talea. As I'm sure most of you experienced this morning with temps low in the 40s, you're going to want to wear a specific type of jeans and boots with the fur. As you continue to go out and about this week. Now, if we look at today, our current temperatures, we're looking at 52 degrees this morning as you go out and about, and it's going to be 49 is what it's going to feel like, as we do have those 9-mile-per-hour winds. Tonight, we're going to look at tonight's current conditions as well. Tonight's conditions as we look forward to tonight. 47 degrees is what it's going to feel like, with 52 being what it is going to be experiencing, what you are going to be experiencing. It's going to be that 47 actually, but 52 is what it's going to feel like, with 10-mile-per-hour winds out there as well. Now, tomorrow we're looking at 67 degrees. It is going to warm back up a little bit as we move toward Thursday, and 65 is what it's going to feel like, 7-mile-per-hour winds coming from the west. We're going to get more on why temperatures are dropping so much this week a little later in the show, so stay with us. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Nick. When we come back, we will have more information regarding student debt relief and why alumni shouldn't get too excited.
And of course, our weather anchor, Nick Ogele, will have the full forecast for your upcoming week after the break. Stick with us.
Hey, listen to my flow to save some H2O. This my water motto, and this is how it goes. First, turn off the sink and take some time to think. When you waste water, our supply shrinks. When you take a shower, not more than an hour. Shoot for 10 minutes and save water power. Use a reusable bottle, smart like Aristotle. Ditch all the plastic and be a role model. And that was my H2O flow. Please remember how it goes, because if you don't, Earth will go, oh no!
Man, I have all these non-perishable food items, and I don't know what to do with them.
I don't have any food at all.
Do you have too many non-perishable goods?
Yeah.
Have you run out of food and can't get any more?
Yeah.
Well, don't have a cow? Head on down to the UNT Food Pantry. Located behind Crumley Hall and Diamond Eagle Student Resource Center, the Food Pantry is the place for UNT students to get all the food they need. You'll be utterly surprised by all the options they have there. From gluten-free to lactose intolerant, even vegan and vegetarian, they have it all. Go to studentaffairs.unt.edu/food pantry for more information.
Move on down to the UNT Food Pantry.
So a man's been walking in the desert for days at a time. He finally comes across a bar and orders a Coke.
That's not funny.
Eh?
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, man. Oh, sorry.
Welcome back to ntTV News at Noon. As you may have heard, this week has started off with great news for many students out there. A newly launched program from the Biden administration has made student loan relief possible. If you have federal student loans, you may be eligible for thousands of dollars in relief. Debt relief applications from people with federal student loans are now being taken by studentaid.gov. However, there are certain requirements you must meet. This may come as good news to many students, but there is a possible downside since this could boost inflation between 1/6 point over the next year. There could be more drawbacks, which is why several lawsuits are challenging this policy.
A report on Denton County's homeless population shows a significant increase of 74% within the previous years. Chronic homelessness has been a problem, seeing that people who have been without a home for longer than 12 months has increased as well. Data shows that there were roughly 535 people who were actively homeless in July of 2022, and 213 of those were chronically homeless. The homeless population is counted by taking what's called a point-in-time count. This is where the unsheltered and sheltered homeless population is counted. In the next point-in-time count will be conducted on January 26th of 2023, and the community is invited to volunteer and help.
Well, on the other hand, San Antonio is now the first city in America to both meet and exceed the housing goal of the National House America Initiative. Last year, San Antonio was one of dozens of communities across the United States to take on the Biden administration's housing plan. So far, city officials have found or created housing options for 1,042 individuals, and they don't plan on stopping anytime soon. Ron Nierenberg, the mayor of San Antonio, said that their plan consisted of leveraging resources from the American Rescue Plan Act, including emergency housing vouchers, which were used as ways to enforce a housing first policy, then address underlying problems that could lead to homelessness. Nierenberg said that by spring, officials expect to have reached their goal of adding 860 deeply affordable units to the development pipeline. It is great to see that many more of the homeless will have shelter to stay warm in this winter.
Yes, with temperatures falling and precipitation falling this upcoming sweater weather. Nick, what is the rest of the week looking like?
Sweater weather indeed, Peter. And just like the patterns on a sweater, we have a pattern change. Pattern changes across the country as we see that the pattern that we currently have with that colder air and that colder temperatures from the that are in the east are going to, and it being warmer to the west, is going to change and be inverse actually, with it being warmer to the west and colder to the east. Or spring temperatures in the east and warmer and colder to the west. As you move south, we do see those some morning lows that are going to be extremely below average, with them reaching 30 degrees below average, actually. So we're going to look at across the North Texas. As you can see here, it's going to be 53 here. Like I said earlier, it's quite much more colder than it was last week. 62 in McKinney, 61 in Sherman. We're looking at 61 in Gainesville as well, and Bowie. And then we're also looking at 65 in Graham and 67 in Stevensville, 63 in the Big D, that is Dallas right there, and 65 in Fort Worth. Now, as we spread out across the state, like I said, those morning lows, we're looking at lows that could break records, actually. So look out for that as you get dressed in the morning. But across the state of Texas that we have down here, we are looking at 57 in Austin. Also with a 62 in Amarillo, 68 in El Paso, and 56 as you go up to Oklahoma City as well. As I back up and we look at our 7-day forecast, like I said, it will warm back up as we get closer to Thursday. So you can see right there with it being back into the 80s. But tomorrow, look out for those lows to still be in effect. That being 47, that low is getting closer and closer to what we're going to feel in winter. Now, as we move throughout the week, 85 on Friday, 85 on Saturday as well, with the lows rising back up to 64. And Sunday, it's going to be partly cloudy, with it being 86 and the low being 66. If you're looking for rain, look out for that on Monday and Tuesday. So look out for that next week. Don't be too worried about any rain on any parades this week. Like I said, tomorrow, going to be sunny, but that sun is deceptive, as it will be cold anyway. So look out for that. Guys, thank you for joining me every week. Come back next week for more updates on your weather forecast. Back to you all at the desk.
Currently, regions in Australia are being hit by flooding, and residents in Echuca are working around the clock to prepare. CNN's Isabella Steskowski has the story.
Throughout the night, building this 2.5-kilometre clay levee to try protect homes and their town. But sadly, a number of properties on this side of the levee can't be saved. They are too close to the Murray. Using donated supplies and working around the clock, this is a final effort by locals. They're hopeful it will stop rising water in the coming days, but there are fears up to 2,000 homes could be impacted.
People are sandbagging. We don't know. We honestly they don't know where the water level's going to be.
And it is all hands on deck. The community helped Graham save his home, and this morning he was driving a truck here, determined to help others. The spirit has been nothing short of incredible. We've seen strangers assisting each other, people helping sandbag local businesses until late at night.
Very, very proud. The donations of food, the offers of fuel, the offers of labour, support, machinery has just been overwhelming.
The Campaspe and Goulburn rivers have already broken their banks. The Rain and the Murray will be the next challenge. The water is already high, pushing paddle steamers some 20 metres higher than they normally are. Nearby in Rochester, the clean-up continues. Residents have been calling for help, and in good news, they're expecting the Army to go and assist today. In a town meeting, locals here have been told Echuca is going to experience something it has never experienced before. That rain is going to come soon. It'll be heaviest on Sunday.
With thousands of media-related content to choose from, the UNT Media Library is sure to have something for everyone. After the break, we will share how you can get your hands on it.
And of course, the Texas State Fair is on its last week, so be sure to make time to attend before it ends this Sunday. We will have some information on what to still look forward to after the break.
Hi, I'm Kennedy, the president of Black Film Club, and what I love about BFC is the atmosphere and the members. The family feel that we have in our club is really genuine. What about you, Bree?
My name is Bree. I'm the vice president of Black Film Club, and what I love about Black Film Club is it's a small but close, like, little family. You know, I feel like a lot of times when you go to a PWI, it's hard to find like a Black community that share the same interests in you. So I'm very blessed and grateful to have, found my family.
What I would say I like about Black Film Club is obviously the environment that it sets for everybody. I love the officers. I've been rocking with basically all of them since day one, since freshman year. We all came in here at the same time, all got involved with Black Film Club at the same time. So it's been a nice community to grow with, and then seeing new members come, seeing them get interested, seeing how they like Black film, teaching them what we can teach them before we leave, and giving them the mantle to take over and suppress it.
Six, 7. Hey, didn't see you there. Just finished my 100th rep. You ready to train?
Yeah!
You got your weights?
Yeah!
You got your energy drink?
Of course.
You got time to go to the Pole Recreation Center?
Yeah, what?
Listen, I didn't even graduate high school. I can't teach for the life of me.
Instead, UNT is offering workout classes at a moderate pace, including yoga, cycling, Pilates, and more.
Don't rely on your dad's old workout videos. Check out the UNT Rec Center today.
Formerly known as Kanye West is branching out of his entrepreneurial endeavors, from music to fashion, and now on to owning a social media platform. The rapper says he plans on purchasing Parler, a popular social media site amongst the conservative population. Parler's parent company made an announcement saying West made a, quote, groundbreaking move into free speech media space. West this past week has temporarily blocked from using Twitter after tweeting out anti-Semitic comments. The deal between West and Parler has not yet been completed.
I'm sure all you UNT students out there are familiar with the library in Willis, but did you know that UNT has a dedicated library for digital contents? It's in Chilton Hall, and it's called UNT's Media Library. UNT's Media Library is located in Chilton Hall, room 111, where it hosts a vast assortment of DVDs, tapes, and laserdiscs for film and TV, as well as the college's collection of video games and board games. The library hosts a quiet environment where students come together to study or play games, but it also serves as the meeting place for UNT's esports groups, D&D sessions, and team building exercises.
I think it's a great place to kind of have a socializing area. You're not expected to check anything out. It's kind of a space for you to hang out. So everybody kind of needs that space. So if you can't have that in your dorm room, you just want to be out, you know, with other friends in a bigger, wider area. I think it's a great space for that.
You can check out content from the library's assortment of over 80,000 films and TV, or even a video game console with controllers and games. The Media Library will be moving to a new location over the coming year, so be sure to check their catalog at library.unt.edu for any media you are interested in checking out, where they will be able to get most titles to you by the next day. And if all that isn't enough, the Media Library also hosts escape room events, so be sure to check them out on UNT's website if you're interested.
The university also will be celebrating their 75th anniversary of North Texas Jazz on October 20th through the 22nd at the UNT Music Building. The program was first created in 1946 with their first laboratory band, the first music degree of its kind in the U.S., and over the years has earned 7 Grammy nominations and has toured internationally. As part of the celebration, alumni from previous classes will return to perform in alumni lab bands, vocal jazz ensembles, and jazz combos. Furthermore, UNT's jazz singers and 1 O'Clock Lab Band will also perform on their evening concert. Tickets are already on sale at jazz.unt.edu.
For this segment, Hollywood Minute gives us the scoop on all things entertainment.
Being part of a story that as complex and as interesting to me as this was the real draw.
Harrison Ford is joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe. According to multiple reports, Ford will take over the role of General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, beginning with Captain America: New World Order, due out in 2024. He'll take over the MCU role from William Hurt, who died in March. Members of K-pop supergroup BTS are joining the military. South Korean law requires almost all able-bodied men to complete 18 months of military service. Jin, the oldest member of the group, aims to start the process at the end of this month, with others joining at different times. Their label, Big Hit Music, expects BTS to reconvene in 2025.
When I grow up, once upon a time, there was a little girl who was trapped. This is the story of her great escape.
Here's your first look at Roald Dahl's Matilda the Musical, based on the award-winning stage show, with Alicia Weir as Matilda, Latasha Lynch as Miss Honey, and Emma Thompson as Miss Trunchbull. Roald Dahl's Matilda the Musical debuts December 25th on Netflix. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, the fun doesn't stop there. This year, Big Tex is expected to welcome back millions of people this year. With 24 fun-filled fair days, people from around the country are coming out to celebrate their favorite fair traditions. From a collection of small businesses to over 80 food and beverage vendors to nearly 50 rides and 100 exhibitors, the opportunities are endless at the fair. With so much to do, crowds have skyrocketed, even after the pandemic. Hear it for yourself from a state fair official who told us what we can expect this year. Even though the numbers look like a possible record attendance, nothing is official until the last corny dog is sold and the last person says goodbye to Big Tex.
And having to say goodbye to the state fair until next year is always so somber.
I agree, Peter. Hellos are always better than goodbyes. For example, basketball fans are finally saying hello to the NBA season tonight. Our sports anchor has the news. Omar.
Yes, Halloween hasn't happened yet, but it already feels like Christmas because the NBA season is back. Stay after the break for more on sports.
UNT is more than 125 years in the making. To find new solutions, we create a new point of view. We know what's possible when creativity, originality, and independent thought converge. We're ranked a Tier 1 research university. We're home to excellence the size of Texas. Define your future at UNT and soar to new heights.
Imagine it's ice cream day at the office. And everyone from the day before voted for their favorite flavor. Everyone but you. You decided not to vote. The flavor they picked isn't the one that you wanted. But can you really complain? Shh! Now imagine that with an elected official.
Choose not to vote, choose not to be heard. Get registered today.
The NBA is back. The season kicks off with an Eastern Conference clash as Philadelphia 76ers take on the Boston Celtics at 6:30 p.m. on TNT. After that, the Lakers take on the Warriors, where we get to see if LeBron still has it entering his 20th season. Spoiler alert, he does, but we can't say the same for the rest of the team. Westbrook. As for us North Texas fans, the Dallas Mavericks kick off the season against the Suns in Phoenix tomorrow at 9 p.m. Game 5 of the Yankees-Guardians game was postponed yesterday and moved to today at 3:07 due to inclement weather. This comes just day after Game 2 was also delayed, moving from Tuesday to Friday. Not only does this postponement hurt the fans, it might also hurt the teams playing, as the winner of this game will face the mighty Astros in the ALCS the very next day. This decision is getting a lot of backlash from the fans and team personnel, as this means whoever wins will have to get on a flight to Houston as soon as the game ends. Now onto football, SEC football. Saturday marked the first time in 16 years that the University of Tennessee Volunteers defeated Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Both teams are undefeated headed into Saturday, and the Vols squeaked out a 52-49 win at the last second of regulation. Fans rushed the field and tore down the goalposts in celebration, but the SEC is not having it. They fined the school $100K, and they have told the Vols they need to replace their goalposts in order for them to play at home this Saturday. The school has since tweeted out a Kickstarter asking students to pay for the goalposts. Guess the high tuition isn't enough.
You've heard of Uber and you've heard of Uber Eats, but in Toronto, the beginnings of what some are calling Uber Smokes. This past weekend, Uber Eats announced plans to deliver marijuana to the Canadian city by teaming up with Leafly, an online marijuana marketplace, and use 3 local cannabis retailers to provide the source. Workers must be certified under Ontario's Can Sell Cannabis Education Program in order to deliver the product to residents aged 19 or older. Uber says opening its own service will reduce impaired driving and push back on the region's illegal cannabis market. Thank you for joining us on ntTV News at Noon.
Join us again tomorrow here on North Texas Television.